Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Say his name and he appears. The man is here on YouTube. Recorded. Are you ready? What is going on, guys? This is the Club with the Man 1993, and I'm here on a Friday night right before I watch SmackDown, trying to get this and the SmackDown reviews in tonight. If not, hopefully SmackDown will get in tomorrow before I watch Saturday night's main event with some friends. But we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to just come down here and just quickly record a review from Raw this past week. Not going to lie, Raw was fine. It was harmless. Nothing that really stunk out the joint. It just kind of felt like a very, very filler type episode. It was an episode that just felt like, you know, like it really only set up one more match for Saturday night's main event, which was a triple threat Intercontinental title match between Dominik, Mysterio, Penta, and Rusev. That will be interesting. But other than that, not much really. I mean, there's nothing really, you know, brewing for Survivor Series yet. Nothing that's really, like, you know, lining up for me. It was just, and even too, like, the structure of the show felt a little bit odd. Although that women's tag title match in the main event was a really good match, it felt a little out of place. Like when I watched, also the other problem was with the week I've had this week, I didn't get to watch Raw like full on. I've watched it in pieces, so that might have affected me as well. But even when I look back at this episode, I'm kind of like, it's one of those ones that they were just trying to get by, it feels like, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks, following Saturday night's main event, things will heat up for Survivor Series, which is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So, again, if you missed the episode, you could probably skip it. But if not, then whatever. So we're going to talk about this pretty quickly here. The show took place in Anaheim, California. We opened up with, honestly, what should have closed the show probably was this segment with CM Punk and Jey Uso setting up for their world title match tonight. I'm going to go like a little bit detailed on this one for this promo. But they both came out and they both kind of did, you know, the whole run it back thing and whatnot. But the title was also sitting on the podium in this segment. And Jay says everyone is in his ear lately. Roman, Jim, and everyone's mama. But he doesn't care what they think about him. Because it's just him. And he's going to win the world title on Saturday. And before you can say 4 letters, 1 word, and finish it off, out came CM Punk, who again did the rerun thing. Punk then apologizes to Jay for stealing the stuff. But 4 letters, 1 word, Punk. He's going to do his best to stay out of Jay's personal space tonight because Saturday, he'll be all up in his. But right now, he's happy for Jay. And that he's finally listening to himself and not all the noise. It's no secret that Punk and Jay are friends, which makes it harder to lace him up against him. Punk has always tried to put himself in his opponent's shoes. But he's never been in Jay's situation because he always listens to himself, follows his gut, and believes himself. But that's easy to do when you're winning. And a lot harder when you're losing or when you're, well, about to lose. He had a lot of questions coming out here, but Jay's body language answers a lot of them. He knows Jay has what it takes. He watched him throw his brother over the top rope, which the crowd boos. And Punk tells them, you don't boo that. It's well within the rules that he's shown everybody that he's got what it takes. And if Jay listens to himself and nobody else, how far is he willing to go? He's not asking Big Jim's brother, and he's definitely not asking Little Roman, as he likes to call Jay. He's asking main event Jey Uso, how far are you willing to go? Because he's not the only one who needs to be champion again. The small amount of time he held the title after being Gunther was way too short at SummerSlam. Punk needs to be champion like he needs air in his lungs. He knows how far he's willing to go, but when Jay is face down on the mat after Punk's knockout with his grill and looks up and realizes he can't yeet his way out of this situation, how far would he be willing to go? Jay says he's been in deep waters. He knows how to swim, but Punk's going to spin to get these people behind him. Paint the picture that he's the bad guy. So screw you, Punk. Saturday night, he'll show him who's the best in the world. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. So basically, just like, how far are you willing to go? We're friends, but, we're going to push each other, this, and that, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Honestly, that should have closed the show. And I would have been a little bit finer with that. I just still felt that women's tag title match wasn't, the way it closed, I don't know, it just didn't feel like a closing match, in my opinion. Even though it was probably the best match of the night, I thought. Things are brewing up still with the Judgment Day. Dominik Mysterio basically comes back and, wants everybody to focus on his problem when everybody else has stuff like Roxanne Perez taking on Nikki Bella. Also with JD and Finn getting their tag titles back. But of course, obviously, Dom's too focused on the number 1 contenders match with Rusev and Penta. Raquel says maybe if he wasn't such a cheater, this wouldn't be a problem. And Dom, he's like, I've never cheated a day in my life. And he has to fight the winner on Saturday. And then Finn and JD step up and says, you're out of luck because they have to focus on getting their tag title match back. And then they all just go their separate ways. Can we please just end this Judgment Day? Now it's really, here and there, it's like, it feels like it's dragging. Then there's something else in the fold that kind of keeps it alive. Then it's dragging again. Right now, the biggest factor as to why it's dragging is because of Liv Morgan being out. And again, Triple H likes a long-term story, but as we've seen, sometimes he's not best in the filler moments. And it's like, you got a story, then you're backing away from it, and they're just there. Then all of a sudden, they're coming back, we gotta get this going again. I don't know. I'm just ready for a Judgment Day to be done. I'm ready for Dominik Mysterio to, start up his own group with Los Americanos. I'm ready for Roxanne to go on her singles run. Raquel can be a singles competitor. I don't know about Finn Balor and JD McDonough. I mean, JD, may have something in the mid-cards. Finn, I would love to see Finn back on his levels in NXT, but I doubt that's going to happen, sadly. I'd love to see it, but as I keep saying, right now, Finn has no story for me to have him be a believable babyface. I wish he did, but right now, I'm not feeling it making any sense if it would happen. It would feel kind of forced, in my opinion. Rusev took on Penta. Match was fine, but Los Americanos got involved in the match, and the match ends in a no contest. And because of that, Adam Pearce is punishing Dom because he knows he has something to do with Los Americanos by making a triple threat. And also, I am still hoping, rumors are the other 2 Americanos are Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, but are now being called Rayo Americano and Bravo Americano. I just feel like Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are just way too good to be put in a situation like that as someone else's goons. They should be getting their singles pushes. And yes, I know there's only so much room on the roster, but don't reduce them to that. I'm sorry. Not that saying that it's not working, it's just that they're better than that, in my opinion. But we got that there. LA Knight basically has a backstage interview mentioning he's questing to still be involved with the world title picture. the Vision have a segment where they say they trust Paul Heyman. They're not mad at him about not getting them in the Battle Royal last week, but Heyman should have really gotten them into the Battle Royal. And they basically admit that, you know, they basically said, whoever wins the match on Saturday, just be ready for a hit and run on Monday, as they're coming for them to get the world title on Braun Breaker. I don't know if they should have said that, because a lot of people, I mean, my pick for Saturday for the main event tomorrow night, honestly, is CM Punk. I think Punk is winning that match. I don't see Jay winning it, but the only other way I can see that match going down is if it goes to a no contest. Basically, like, you know, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed interfere and basically say, nobody gets the world title unless I get it. If that's basically, you know, like, what they're going with. Which would make the most sense, in my opinion, to make them more even dominant as a group. But that, or it's probably going to set up for something at War Games. Because probably going to be some version of the Division. Maybe Drew McIntyre in there. If Austin Theory's back, maybe him in there as well. And I'm going to say for the face side, it's probably going to be Punk, Jimmy and Jay, LA Knight, and Roman Reigns. If they are going to turn Jay heel, I feel like that would be the moment when they full on turn him in the direction he's going. That's what I'm thinking right now. But Braun Breaker took on LA Knight again. I'm not going to lie. I do agree with some people are saying that, you know, they're kind of getting a little sick of the constant, like, CM Punk and LA Knight versus, and even like Jey Uso versus the Vision. It is getting kind of repetitive, I'm not going to lie. But Braun Breaker wins, as he should. We also had JD McDonough and Finn Balor go to Pierce about their tag team title rematch. Pierce thing set up for next week, but for tonight, they had to deal with Sheamus because they got eliminated from the Battle Royal last week and then got back in there and took out Sheamus when they were eliminated. So one of them has to deal with Sheamus. And JD McDonough volunteered to do it. And with Finn Balor's help with a shillelagh, JD actually beat Sheamus with a Spanish Fly. So a big win there for JD for sure. Please don't put the tag titles back on the Judgment Day. I'm begging you, please don't do that. You would think they would put them on the Division, but I don't think so right now. So they're probably soon going to put the title on Braun. But that's neither here nor there, not anywhere. But that's all that basically happened with that. Nikki Bella took on Roxanne Perez, and Roxanne won that match. Fine, I mean, yes, definitely, but afterwards they had Roxanne, Raquel get in there and attack Nikki. But then Stephanie Vaquer comes out and makes the save. It sets up for a tag match against them next week. But there was this one moment where they had Raquel and Stephanie stare down, and then Nikki so kind of like stood in between them, and I'm like, oh, don't you dare do what I think you're about to do. And they didn't, but based off that promo she had like a week or two ago, I have this bad feeling the long-term plan is for Nikki Bella to turn heel on Stephanie Vaquer, even though, you know, again, with this character to having Nikki Bella being hyped up as like a trailblazer and whatnot, and the legend she is, which again, she's very overhyped, no offense, and she hasn't even won a single match since she's been back, and we're going to do Nikki Bella versus Stephanie Vaquer at some point. Really? I'm not looking forward to that when it happens. I'm really not. But we got that there. Jimmy Uso had a backstage segment where basically he confronted his brother about, you know, being eliminated, and whatnot. And then Jimmy gets on for just thinking about himself and how he doesn't believe in himself and whatnot, and he wouldn't be scared to find out how it goes. But then they try to play it off cool, but, you know, we'll see where that goes. Lyra, Valkyria, and Bayley had a backstage segment where they were confronted by the Kabuki Warriors because they felt they should be involved in the tag title picture. They even did the same with with the champs, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. And AJ Styles and Dragon Lee were chatting backstage about their match as well, and they had this to roll when they made the match official as well. Also, there was a segment, I forgot to mention this too, where Maxine Dupree basically is owed a Women's Intercontinental Championship shot, but she said she wants to do the match when she feels ready. And she has to make a call to a friend to help her prepare for that. Which I'm assuming is Natalya, because they're having them be a tag team or whatnot, but very strange turn of events there with that. I don't know. I thought that was going to set up for maybe a match at Saturday Night's Main Event, or maybe that could be pushing it off for a title match at Survivor Series. I don't know. That was interesting there, and I guess it's kind of giving up on this vibe that, you know, Maxine, a lot of people are praising Maxine because if you remember about a year or so ago, Maxine got booed out of the building because of her lack of ability in the ring at the time. But she didn't make any excuses. She actually did take the time to get better. And she really has. This series of matches she's had with Becky Lynch, she's had some really good. She's done really well in those matches and hung in well with there. And Becky has made Maxine look a lot more legit. So I don't know, like, you know, where that's going as far as her saying, you know, I want to make sure I'm ready. But we'll see where this goes. I just hope it doesn't drag out either. Main event was a good match with the women's tag titles with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Couple close near falls in there as well, especially that one towards the end where I think Charlotte had Bayley in the figure 4 leg lock, but Lyra grabbed Bayley's arm to prevent her from tapping, but then Alexa broke up with the Twisted Bliss. But eventually they would win with both doing the a double natural selection on each of them. And the champs retain, and then afterwards the Kabuki Warriors attack them. And that's how the show ended. So, I don't know, like I said, abrupt ending, yes. Nothing really like groundbreaking or fresh. Like, again, it didn't feel like a go-home show. I know Saturday Night's Main Event is not really a pay-per-view per se. I know it's more of sort of just like a network special, basically, or whatnot. Like, that's all I think of it as. But I don't know, like I still feel like you could have closed the show with the Punk and Jay segment, if I'm being honest. The tag match, again, it was good, but I don't know, like it just missed that punch. Again, it just didn't feel like not a lot really advanced in this episode of Raw. So, again, it was harmless, but honestly, other than, you know, them setting up Dom in the triple threat match for the IC title for Saturday, you could have skipped this episode of Raw. I gave it a C+. Again, it was harmless, but very filler-like. Very filler episode for Raw. It's whatever. We'll see how Saturday's Main Event is. I mean, I still got SmackDown to do as well, which, again, maybe I'll do it tonight. If not, I'll try to do it tomorrow before Saturday's Main Event. Can't promise anything, though, because I do have a couple things going on tomorrow before I go watch Saturday Night's Main Event, so we'll see how it goes. So, Raw got a C+ for me this week. What are your guys' thoughts on Raw? Leave your guys' thoughts again down in the comment section below, and slap a like on the video, and subscribe for more content on my channel, and follow me on Twitter as well, The Club with the Man 93. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at The Club with the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!